The idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude. I don't know you. I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes from
not everybody has to like it. That's what we said. There are people who didn't want it to happen at all. You sound like one of them. It's okay.
No.
But did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody. I said in the piece I did not think that was going to happen.
In that case, then go.
I love the people on either side who ignore the parts they don't like and then and I just did it. It wasn't like it was 3 weeks ago.
Bill Maher had dinner with Donald Trump recently, and, like clockwork, the liberal internet had a full-blown meltdown. Democrats, woke watchdogs, and keyboard crusaders flooded social media, practically begging Maher to stay at least 100 feet away from anything remotely connected to the White House. Fast forward a few days. Maher invites one of these pearl-clutching critics onto his show, and sure enough, the guest wastes no time scolding him for daring to break bread with the so-called devil. But Maher, being Maher, he didn't sit there and take it. He clapped back hard. With signature clarity, he reminded both his guest and his audience that this is still America, land of the free, home of the First Amendment. And yes, that includes the freedom to have dinner with Donald Trump if you choose. Because in a truly free country, conversation isn't betrayal. It's the point.
I wanted to report exactly what I saw. I did it to the best of my abilities.
Counterpoint?
I can be. Yes.
Counterpoint?
Yeah.
You know, Bill, I think you're right in saying that people have made too much of this, okay? It's not the Ulta Summit. You're not Churchill. Kid Rock is not Stalin. Trump, third shit isn't FDR, okay? So, yes, I believe too much has been made about this, but I think you've fallen into the trap. I think I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle. And what people are worried about is not your motivation. We believe you. We love you, Bill. Everybody loves Bill, right?
All right, let me just hit pause for a second and point something out. You know how these stickos operate. They start by buttering you up with fake praise, make you relax, and then, bam, they drop the hammer like it's personal. That's exactly what happened here. The guy kicks things off by fawning over Bill Maher, laying it on thick. But Maher? He saw it coming from a mile away and called him out before the trap was even fully sprung. We'll get to that glorious takedown in a bit. But for now, let's just endure this cringe-worthy praise parade. And no, I'm not questioning your motivation, just the awkwardness.
I'm questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? And if we can say that you went there in good faith, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't there in good faith. I mean, you sold him on the Iran deal and he took it in. I mean, give me a break, okay? So the idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude. I don't know you. I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes from
not everybody has to like it. That's what we said. There are people who didn't want it to happen at all. You sound like one of them. It's okay. No. But did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody.
This right here is exactly why I love Bill Maher. His built-in hypocrisy radar is sharper than ever, and he never hesitates to call out BS when he sees it. By this point in the conversation, you could tell Maher was visibly done with the guy's hollow, over-the-top praise. It wasn't genuine admiration, it was a setup. And Maher wasn't having any of it. Look, it's totally fine if you don't like that Maher had dinner with Trump. That's valid, kind of like not everyone liking pineapple on pizza. We all get to have our preferences. But what's not okay is pretending to cheer someone on just to line up a sanctimonious takedown 2 seconds later. That's not disagreement. That's performance art with a heavy side of smug. The guest could have just said what he really thought up front. But no, he had to preface it with a fake standing ovation, hoping it would soften the blow. Maher saw right through it. And as always, he did what he does best, stripped away the gloss on the guy's moral grandstanding and showed the audience exactly what was underneath. A calculated, insincere attempt to scold while pretending to be a fan.
If you go on social media for 5 minutes now, you just have these tribal fury raging all day long. Everyone's got to be implacably there, implacably here. And actually, most Americans and most Brits, they're not like that. So there's this screaming going on between these tribes and actually walking across across that line, sitting down, having dinner, having a laugh, having a chat. And then the idea that Bill Maher is now going to stop criticizing Donald Trump with him is preposterous.
Even Piers Morgan had to step in and call out the growing hysteria on the left, because apparently it's no longer enough to criticize Maher for having dinner with Trump. Now, the wild narrative is that Trump somehow hypnotized him over appetizers and turned him into a full-on NAGA disciple. According to the ever-outraged left, Maher is suddenly on Team Trump and has sworn off ever criticizing him again. Seriously? Let's be clear. That's complete and utter nonsense. Maher never said he wouldn't call out Trump. What he did say, and has said repeatedly, is that he's done with joining the cult of outrage that obsessively nitpicks Trump over trivial things. There's a difference between thoughtful criticism and blind partisan rage, and Maher knows that difference. The left used to get it too. But now, if you so much as have a civil conversation with Trump without spitting in his face, you're labeled a traitor. Maher isn't playing that game. He's always been an independent thinker, and no dinner, no matter how controversial, is going to change that.
I think you began your little rant with the internet. That tells me everything. You take your cues from the internet. Good luck.
No. Listen.
The internet is a cesspool that just wants to fight.
At this point, you almost have to feel a little sorry for the poor guy. He looks completely bewildered, like someone who accidentally showed up to the wrong party and realized way too late it wasn't a costume event. You can see it on his face. He wasn't expecting this, not the sharp jabs from Bill Maher, and definitely not the surprise tag team verbal smackdown courtesy of Piers Morgan. He thought he'd waltz into the studio, deliver a smug monologue, school Maher with his moral superiority, and walk out with a shining little chip on his shoulder. But reality had other plans. Instead of the easy win he was banking on, he stumbled right into a buzzsaw of razor-sharp logic and unapologetic truth-telling. He didn't come ready for a real debate, just recycled talking points and the assumption that Maher would fold under progressive pressure. Big mistake. Maher doesn't just spar, he dissects. And with Piers Morgan backing him up, that I didn't stand a chance. It wasn't just a takedown. It was a full-on televised reckoning. But Maher wasn't finished yet.
It's going to be changed by such
I said in the piece I did not think that was going to happen.
In that case, then go with
I love the people on either side who ignore the parts they don't like and then just... And I just did it. It wasn't like it was 3 weeks ago. I mean, watch it again. Maybe you'll find something new in it.
It's not a judgment.
Although, Bill, I don't know what the hell you said to him over dinner, but all hell broke loose within about 3 days of that dinner.
He was doing...
Were you giving him economic advice in there?
No, I mean, he was doing the tariffs well before.
We've seen Bill Maher take down plenty of woke guests before. He's no stranger to calling out nonsense with surgical precision. But usually, Maher keeps his cool, relying on wit and sarcasm rather than raising his voice. This time, though, this guy got under Maher's skin like a bad Wi-Fi signal. What started as a debate quickly felt more like a coordinated ambush. The guest clearly came prepared with an agenda to score points, corner Maher, and walk away with some ideological trophy. But Maher wasn't having it. Not today. You could see the frustration building, the disbelief, the sheer exhaustion with the smug condescension being thrown his way. When Maher finally snapped back, it wasn't petty, it was necessary, because there's only so much Fox intellectual posturing one man can take, and this guy was testing every limit. Before he eviscerated his guest, Maher didn't hold back on the woke mob coming after him for having dinner with the president. Take a listen.
As you know, 12 days ago, I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a fucking comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute.